to the channel, my friends. Today we are taking a look at this really unique, awesome tool. This particular tool is the 60-degree offset combination plier from Gedore. The model number is 8248-160. Gedore is a German company. However, this particular tool and many of their tools are actually made in Austria. This is the JC model, which indicates that it is chrome plated and it does have the 2-component comfort grip handle. If you know anything about chrome plating, it is amazing for tools because it really protects the tool from getting rusted. But we're going to take a look at this tool and see what the advantages are of having the 60-degree offset versus just your traditional combination plier. Many of you who have watched my channel for a long time, you know that I really like combination pliers. So when I saw these available for less than 30 bucks, I had to jump all over it because the normal price of these I think is like around 40 to 50. So I happened to get a really good deal on it. I'm really excited about it. To go over some quick specs. So the cutting jaws, they are hardened to around 63 to 65 HRC, so they are pretty durable cutting edges. If you look at the jaws in the gripping area, as you can see, there's it's kind of like a rhombus type of shape compared to what you see on these where it's more rounded. I would think that would maybe give you better grip on hex style fasteners, but you know, it's hard to tell. I haven't really noticed much of a difference. These things, they grip really good anyway, so I don't know if that shape makes any difference at all. But they are rated to cut up to 1.6 millimeter piano wires, so they are pretty hard cutting edges, so they should be really durable. You shouldn't have any issues with cutting. Now, I will say combination pliers, they aren't the type of cutter that a lineman plier is, or side cutters or end nippers. Any of those, you don't have quite as much leverage with these, and I would think having this offset, it may help with the leverage, it may not. I'm not really sure how the physics works out on that, but I'm pretty interested to find out. Just taking a look here, I have noticed using these to adjust and turn fasteners. It is a little awkward with this offset. I feel like, as you can see, you need more clearance whenever you're turning a fastener. If there was a fastener any closer to this fastener here, it would obviously get in the way of turning it. Now, with your standard combination pliers, you don't have that issue. You can get right up against it, and you obviously have a lot more room to work with, you know, without worrying about hitting other obstacles. So that's certainly a disadvantage to having these angled pliers. However, the real advantage of them is whenever you're holding and bending material. So it's way more comfortable. You know, you're not having to bend your wrist to kind of get at something, and you kind of lose a little bit of gripping strength whenever you have to bend your wrist here. It's an unnatural gripping position compared to gripping from here. So that's a huge advantage of having these offset pliers. Getting around obstacles can certainly be a benefit with these. However, you are limited in terms of using these as a tool to rotate and turn fasteners. However, I'm sure there are situations where these would probably come in handy. I just haven't really run into those. Now, other people I've seen that reviewed angled pliers, you know, they talk about the line of sight, you know, being able to have, you know, to get at your fastener from the side there and having better line of sight. I can see how that would be a benefit, because if you're going towards something here, obviously you have less line of sight. Typically, that's only going to happen probably in the automotive industry, where you're trying to, you know, get your tool into a really confined area and you have all these other elements blocking your view. So I can see how that would be a benefit, but that may be something that, you know, you may not run into as much. The biggest advantage, as I said, is holding and gripping materials. And if you don't have any obstacles, you can certainly use these to, turn fasteners and grip rounded material, flat material, bend material. Combination pliers are good for a wide variety of situations. They're not really the best at any one thing, but they are a good all-around tool to have. Like I said, with combination pliers, they're not going to be the best cutter. They're not going to have the most leverage, but in a pinch, if you need a cutter, they certainly work. And I have noticed cutting with these is super comfortable, especially with that angle. Just being able to hold the plier in a natural position and cut, it just makes it so much more comfortable. So I can definitely see how there's an ergonomic advantage to having these angled pliers. Now, the shortcoming with all combination pliers is your depth of cut, your capacity. You don't have a ton of cutter here. So even with, Romex and these wider type of wire, you're just about you're really not able to cut the full wire. So you kind of have to go at it from two different sides if you want to try to get through that wire, because there's just not enough depth to cut anything, this wide or wider. Now, when it comes to cutting harder materials like nails, again, they're not going to be the best cutter. I mean, that definitely took a little bit of effort, and this is just a roofing nail. I mean, this is nothing like too serious trying to cut, but I will say these certainly do cut easier than these. Now, I've been using these a lot longer, so that may have something to do with it, but having that angle, it really makes cutting, it just makes it easier. It really does. It's less fatiguing if you're cutting hard material using these angled pliers. Overall, I think these are really nice, especially for the price point that I got them for less than $30. The chrome plating, the comfort grip handles. This is a really, really nice tool to have, and I think it's more of a tool to complement your regular set of combination pliers, depending on what you do for a living, that is. I mean, some people may prefer this angled style, and I really like the angled style, but there are some inherent disadvantages having that angled head. However, on the flip side, there are inherent advantages. Ergonomically speaking, it's definitely more comfortable to use than just your traditional combination plier. Having that offset head, it really does make squeezing a lot easier. And of course, like other people have stated, you have that line of sight, that offset. If you're going towards something, you have that additional line of sight. I really never have any issue with that because I'm typically always looking down, so I normally don't have any issue with that line of sight, but I can definitely see how that would be an advantage too. Nonetheless, this is a great quality tool. Gedore makes really high quality tools. They're one of the best in the business. They're not quite as popular as Knipex, and not all their products are made in Germany, but that doesn't mean that they aren't good quality tools. That's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I would love to hear your all's thoughts. If you're interested in either one of these tools, you can use the affiliate link down in the description for KC Tool. They carry both of these tools. But that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you all on the next one. Peace.